Well, welcome everyone. I'm Steve Savant. We're broadcasting live from the hotter Phoenix, Arizona on KXXT Family Values Radio. I also want to welcome our online audience on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and LinkedIn. And I want to give a big shout out to Beyond Fear to Freedom, one of the best Christ-centered fellowships that provide a safe and loving community for women in recovery. Just go out to their website at beyondfeartofreedom.org. And don't forget, if you want to write Steve Savant, go right ahead. I love your comments and statements on YouTube as well as my email. My email address is steve@180uturn. That's 180YOUTURN.com. All this week, we're with Blake Dallavira. Blake, welcome to the show, day 2.
Thank you so much for having me.
I'm happy to have you, and I'm happy that you've had an experience, but we can't talk about that yet. We got to wait till Thursday.
Okay.
I want to talk about, listen, everybody said, well, Steve, that Monday didn't sound that bad. I've had people on this show that first Monday is a rocker. But if you didn't understand the distress of what Blake was talking about, we may be leaving our little gals in a major setup for their teenage years that are going to be crushers. Would you not agree with that, Blake?
Absolutely.
So if you have people, if you're struggling with bulimia, you're struggling with anorexia, if you're struggling with any kind of eating disorder in any way, if you have poor self-image, I can't believe people take a psychological whip and beat themselves over on how bad they're not perfect, they're not all these things. Because if we don't intercede, if we don't intervene, then day 2, today, what we're going to be talking about is going to be one of the possible results, and it's not a good one.
No.
All right, now, we talk about dating's always a struggling thing. You know, you want to be accepted. Mm-hmm. You want to be part of whatever group you're in. You want boys to like you, mm-hmm. right? I mean, there's all these things are playing into this, and I already have a setup where I'm feeling bad about myself. So what happens when you feel bad about yourself and you're trying to have a relationship with a young man at 16?
Well, I think you go for the guys that are not emotionally prepared for you. Mm-hmm. You go for the ones that are not going to treat you well. Mm-hmm. You know, that at least in my experience.
Okay, but don't you think that most people with a logical mind are going to say, I totally want to be treated well?
Yes, absolutely. But I think that because you feel so low about yourself, you don't have very high standards. Mm-hmm. And you allow people into your life that are going to continue to kind of beat you down in a sense. Mistreat you, yeah. And that could be through control, you know, finding extremely controlling boyfriends. Because in my case, the first boyfriend I had, he was very controlling, and I thought that was love. I was like, he loves me so much, he's going to try to tell me what to do. And I
Whoa, so, excuse me, just because we have a lot of people listening, this is a huge point.
Yeah.
Okay, where did you pick this up, that ultra controlling is a sign of devotion and love? How did you interpret that?
You know, I don't know. I just felt like I was seen and important, mm-hmm. and that he cared so much that he wanted to make sure I was, I don't really know. I think it was just I wanted to be loved so badly that I was willing to see anything as love at that point. Mm-hmm.
Grabs pretty hard in the relationship, or grabbing?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, so you felt in a very tight relationship, but you were okay with it at first?
I was okay with it.
And when this happened, this relationship didn't go on forever. This is your first relationship.
Yeah, first love, yeah.
What was the breakup over?
You know, I think he was a 17, 18-year-old boy. He was getting ready to go he was graduating, and I think he just wanted to spread his wings, mm-hmm. and he just said he didn't love me anymore. Okay.
When you have relationships with people at 16 and they exit your life, what kind of feeling? I mean, you're already feeling bad about yourself. How does this make you feel at that time?
Oh, it completely just rocked my world. I didn't understand. It was almost like my lifeline was cut. Mm-hmm. I just didn't know how to handle. I already didn't know how to handle emotions, so I did not know how to handle heartbreak. I didn't know what to do with myself. You know, I literally lost my mind.
I was thinking when you and I were doing a pre-interview on the phone, I was thinking of the woman at the well. I might even have mentioned to it if I remember correctly. You know, we all burn through relationships when we're young and we're ignorant and we don't know what we're doing. We don't have God's word. We don't have good godly parents over us telling what to do. And we're going to run into some serious problems, especially in this promiscuous society that we live in now.
Yes.
So when you started, you started to say, hey, this is how boy-girl relationships are. You didn't think there was any other difference to this.
Mm-mm.
So how many, would you say between the time you were 16 and the time you left home, you were dating as much as you could?
I wouldn't say I was dating. I was just having sex with a bunch of people.
Mm-hmm. And did you ever have fear of pregnancy?
You know what? No.
Fear of STDs?
Nope.
Nothing. So do you feel, I'm asking now, I can remember my time in my era, but I want your era. Do you feel like you are completely ignorant of those things, or when you're that young, you're invulnerable? You just don't have any vulnerabilities.
Well, or I just thought I was invincible. I thought, oh, this won't happen to me. I won't. And it didn't, luckily, by the grace of God. But I was stupid. I was reckless. And I wanted, it wasn't like I had sex with these men to feel loved. It was just, I thought it was going to fill something in me. It was going to fill, because I needed that. I needed to feel attractive. I needed to feel like I was worthy. And when you get the attention of men, you feel worthy. You feel like you're important. You feel like you're something great. And that was not the case.
But not only is it not the case, and I know that you and I are strong enough in the Lord. And listen, this is zero self-esteem at this point. You don't have any self-worth, right?
No.
We're broken. We're bruised. So hungry for love. I mean, this is like the woman at the well. She is burning through 5 guys who aren't her husband, right? This is even the Bible, right? So when we look at this, we're trying to interpret it one way because we don't want to look like losers, so we use different definitions, right? And we try to say, hey, listen, I'm being fulfilled. No, I'm not. I have more esteem and I'm more mature now. No, I'm not, right? So now let's talk about this, because this is where it all starts down the road, right?
Yes.
Okay, first of all, I remember my sister loved Barbies, right? Loved Barbie dolls, right? This is back in the late 50s, okay, 60s, We loved Ken and Barbie, right? They were the dream couple, right? And everybody wants to date Barbie, and that's your nickname on the street became Barbie, right?
Unfortunately, yes.
And so there's these people that are looking to Barbie, the Barbie doll image, and now if it doesn't just stop with having illicit relationships, that, by the way, sound to me, and you correct me if I'm wrong, that even though they're not long-standing, they seem to still be codependent.
Yeah, if I didn't have a man at some point in my life, whether it was just talking to him or having sex with him, I felt alone and I felt scared and I felt like I just couldn't be alone. So whether it was a relationship or just like a fling, I had to have someone at all times.
What do you think creates and generates that? Now you've been a Christian for a little while now. What generates that emptiness or abandonment, maybe even, that you experienced?
I want to say idolatry. I think that you're just trying to put something in the place where God belongs. And it never works out because you're trying to fill this hole with something that only God is meant to fill. Now,
you had no clue that God was...
Oh, no,
I mean, we're way too early for that.
No, yeah. Okay. You're talking about as this person right now.
Right.
Can you ask the question again?
Yeah, I mean, you have this feeling. We know now that the Lord is we're not going to have any idolatry.
Yes.
We love the Lord.
Right.
But during this period of time, you said it was idolatry, and you're looking back this retrospectively as an unbeliever. See, this is think about this.
Yeah,
so okay, yeah. I mean, as an unbeliever, and so when we're unbelievers, we have idols in our lives because we're trying to replace God. The very hole in our heart that only is fit and filled by Him is being fit and filled by other things, whether it's dope, codependent relationships, alcohol, career, whatever our thing is. So when you're going through this, you start to experiment. And everybody, it seems like, and excuse me, I hope I'm not making a blanket statement here that would be hurtful, but I think most people drink, right? And I remember, first time I had schnapps, I was 13. I thought it was awful, right? I was like, but you can't tell your friends that it's awful because you want to fit in. So you started drinking, and you started doing weed, marijuana, right? Which back then was illegal. Not today, but back then. Okay, and then you're doing shrooms. Now, I am hip to the pharmaceutical culture, but maybe our listeners aren't. Why don't you tell them what shrooms are?
It's just a hallucinogenic, and it's like a dried up shroom that you eat, and you start to hallucinate.
Okay, so there's certain mushrooms out there, right? That can be have some kind of hallucinogenic property.
Yes.
And you would do you have to cook them, or I don't want to teach anybody about this.
Yeah, you just eat them, and they're disgusting.
And they're disgusting, but they have some kind of value.
Yes.
Okay, now, back in the day of the Savant, we're sniffing paint cans, glue, right? I mean, we're sucking on baby wipes, which weren't really baby wipes back then. I forgot what they called them. Alcohol. They were just alcohol wipes. And can you imagine how desperate we are all at when we're chewing on shrooms, sniffing paint cans, right? I mean, we are really out there.
Yeah.
Okay, we're so hard up to be high.
Yeah.
When the Lord could have provided joy unspeakable, undefinable, right? That's what blows my mind all the time is we go through this. And you went through this time period, but shrooms aren't going to be enough, are they?
No.
No, we're going to go upstairs to the next level. Did you ever think in your life that you and I would be talking years ago about doing heroin?
Never.
Okay. When we come back from our break, we're going to continue our talk with Blake Dallavira. It's so sorry we got to go down this road, but this road is where many travel. And just to show you the power of the Lord to deliver, to change, and regenerate a complete new life with a complete new mindset and a complete new heart. When I come back from the break, we'll continue more with Blake's story. Awesome. See you right after the break. This is where we're going. Are you okay with my way of bringing things up and talking about it? Well, welcome back. All this week, we're talking about Blake's story. We're going to unpack it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. If you're jumping on our show and say, oh, Steve, I missed Monday. Remember, a week after we always record, we do the radio station, we put the actual video version of it out, and you can watch it in succession. I highly recommend watching it in chronology. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we talk about our bad boy behavior. Thursday is our day when we find the Lord. We talk about that. And then Friday is what's happening now. And boy, there's so much happening in your life. So it's really great. I want to just exhort everyone here. Listen, we're walking through teenage lives that are going to go from just, drinking, I'm smoking weed, I'm chewing on god-awful mushrooms, just bad. And now we're going to head upstairs. Now, it's hard for me, maybe as a father, to hear a young gal like yourself say this thing about, being arrested on a beer run, that I get. Right. That's kind of there. But talk about this because this is your first little, I would say, fling with the law.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to fit in and have a party. My parents were out of town, and the person that was supposed to bring the beer didn't show up. So I was like, well, I'll just go run and get some beer. Mm-hmm. So I looked older enough. I probably looked 21 at my age. So I just walked in like casual, grabbed 2 30-packs in one hand. And
well, how old were you?
I was 17.
So you're 17. You're not really supposed to be able to have access to alcohol.
No,
right?
I was 18.
You're 18. So was it legal and be able to buy alcohol at 18 in a flag?
No.
Back in the day? Mm-mm. Okay. All right. So, and you walk in there and you walk out with 2 30-packs.
Yep. Walk straight to my car and leave.
Well, right there you had to be in shape just to carry it out to your car, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And then you start hanging with, and then you got picked up for this. How did that happen?
They found my license plate, and they, shortly after we started the party, they came to the house and arrested me. And I actually ran and jumped the fence, and that's why I pretty much got arrested. They were mad at me for running, so they took me to jail, and yeah.
How many days there?
I was there for about a week because my parents said, well, you're 18 now, we're not bailing you out, and we're not coming home from California for a couple days, so you're stuck in there.
Okay, how'd you feel about that?
I was so mad. And I was a spoiled brat too. I mean, I usually get what I want from my parents. And so when they told me no, I was like, oh my gosh, what? So I called the boyfriend, the ex-boyfriend, and his mom put up her wedding ring for me. I know, silly woman.
Well, first of all, yes, it's stupid, but can I also say,
super nice.
What a nice guy.
Yeah, she was really nice. And so she put her wedding ring up. I got out and went to the ex-boyfriend's house, and that was, my dad had a good friend who was a lawyer, so he smashed the case for me. And so I got into a couple different tiffs, and they got smashed because my dad knew some people. And so I didn't end up with anything then yet.
Yeah, the guys, people who can pay for legal eagles got it made most of the time, right? I mean, they can really kind of make things go away.
Yeah.
Okay, but now you're starting to float with people, I mean, I'm trying to understand the graduation from boyfriends to gang members.
Well, I was always a pretty brave girl, and I was partying. I was a complete partier. I didn't think I had a problem with anything because I thought I was just a normal teenager. But this ties back into, being 13 and having an eating disorder. I heard that meth can make you lose weight.
Oh, yeah.
And so I was intrigued by that. And I was scared of it. But the first time I tried it, it was in Sunnyside in Flagstaff, which is kind of like the ghetto of Flagstaff. And me and my friend went over there and we smoked some meth with him, and I didn't leave for 2 months. You just stayed there? I just got high the whole time.
What was the living conditions of your meth friends?
Oh, it was disgusting. It was horrible. It was like a trap house. There was, the floor was dirt. The doors barely shut.
You're a gal of hygiene. I mean, you're not a person that dresses disorderly or anything. You're always trying to look your best, and now you're living in this lifestyle. How did that not wake you up?
Well, because when you're getting high, you don't care. You just you get into this extremely ecstatic and happy point of view. So you see things from a very happy lens. You don't see it for reality.
Now, you lost 30 pounds on meth.
Yeah, in a month.
And you were not fat.
No.
So you're a rail now.
I was 100 pounds.
Your face is gaunt. It's thin. Cheeks are sucked in.
Everyone who knew me knew something was terribly wrong.
Parents see you at this time?
Yeah, and my mom, my sister was the one who was like, Mom, she's doing meth. And my mom was like, no, she's not. Oh, absolutely not. But come to find out, I was doing meth, and I was doing it hard. And I hadn't started shooting it up yet, but I was smoking a lot. And I lost, when you smoke meth, you get this liquid courage that you feel invincible. You feel like you can do anything. And so I'm hanging out with these gangsters, and I felt like a badass. Sorry for my language, but that's how I felt. I felt like I was living with these people that were, I think it was like the first 2 weeks I lived there, they beat this guy with a bat right in front of me.
And beat him, I mean.
Beat him up, yeah, just demolished him, and his face had to be reconstructed, and that was not enough to be like, maybe I should get out of here. Yeah.
Well, okay, and I just want to again, I have people that have never done dope before that had such disorders, eating disorders, they decided to start smoking meth for that very reason. Think about this. We're not even talking about trying to fill a hole in your heart yet. Yeah. I mean, although that would be true. We're talking about people who are actually using this as a dietary supplement. Yes. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
So when you're down at 30 pounds, and I have to say my first trip through Estrella, this is almost 12 years ago, I had no idea, and they separated the meth and heroin and crack people into one area. So when I walked in there, I had never seen this before, and I saw a girl, I'll never forget this rest of my life, and one of the one of the girls that was in there, an inmate, came up to me, and she was introducing me. She introduced me to this gal, and she said, Steve, this girl's 20 years old. She's been in now for about 6 months with us. We're trying to help her. She's been on meth. She looked 40. Her face, her teeth, I mean, it just destroyed this young gal. How could you blow 20 years past your life physically, your physiology, because of meth? That's how damaging it is.
Yeah.
So you started living, you kind of live with this, another one, right? I mean, there was another meth dealer too, right? It wasn't just the guy in Flag, right?
No, this was a meth dealer in Flag, yeah.
Okay. And then all of a sudden you met another boyfriend, and he took you to?
To Compton. Well, to Watts, California.
Okay, no. Watts is not really a good place to go. I mean, did you know that before you left?
I mean, I have heard about it from like rap songs and things like that,
Mm-hmm.
you know, Biggie Smalls and all them, but no. I had no idea what I was getting myself into. I just, you know, I was, like I said, I was brave, I was dumb, and they wanted to they, you know, so I'm high, and I'm like, well, now I can make a singing career. Now I can be this amazing singer that's in LA, and you know, totally delusional, basically, is where I'm at. And so I'm like, well, I'll go to LA to see if I can be something good, you know, something big.
Mm-hmm.
And
well, yeah, but LA Hollywood is not
Yeah.
Watts, okay? Not Compton, right?
that is true. That is
Okay,
true.
so I'm thinking about you. You know, you're kind of blonde. You know, you're going out there and you're in Watts and these places that are really not for young people.
No, I looked completely out of place there, and I was, you know, I mean, by the grace of God, I didn't get into, you know, sex trafficking.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't, by the grace of God, that's the only way I can explain, because I was with dangerous people that didn't care about my well-being at all.
And still, that did not bring you out of your stupor.
No.
See, this is the thing, you know, it's like you're recognizing you're in the danger zone, and it's still not freaking you out.
No.
Now, you did try rehab for a little bit, right? For a week?
Yeah.
And so something must have, you know, given you a little bit of initiative to do that.
Nope, it was just my family, and you know, my family wanted me to go, and so I did, and I didn't really actually want to be clean. I didn't want to stop doing what I was doing, and it didn't last. It was like a week, and I was gone. I just walked out.
Your car was stolen?
Well, that was in rehab. So now when we're in California, I'm living with this girl. So the boyfriend that I drove down to California with, he was an illegal, and he got arrested. We got pulled over, and he got arrested as soon as we came into California. And he's like, well, I can give you a number to my friend. You can go stay with her. So I stayed with her, and she was, you know, they were trying to get me to make money. So I was going to go strip and,
Have you ever done anything like that before?
No, nothing. So
What was going through your head? How old were you, by the way, at this time?
I was 18, almost 19.
Okay, so you're going to be a stripper for income. Okay, and this never crossed your mind?
It never crossed my mind, and so she actually tricked me, and she took me. I didn't share this with you, but she took me to a warehouse, and she's like, well, if you come here, you can dance for some guys and get some money. And this is my first time ever doing any of this. I was nervous, and I get there, and there's like 5 Hispanic men just standing around, and she's like, okay, go dance for them, and they told me to take all my clothes off, and I was dancing for these men, and they were grabbing on me, and it was my first time. I was so mortified, and I just couldn't believe what this girl tricked me into doing, because I thought I was just going to go dance, and these people are touching on me, and I'm just mortified, and I was embarrassed. I was shocked, and so, but I made some money. But she was actually trying to sell me out. She was trying to get these men to have sex with me, and I refused. I was like, absolutely not. And that's when I knew I was living with people who had no care in the world for me.
And you actually did this, which tells me you have no care for yourself.
I didn't. No, okay. I didn't.
All right. When we're thinking about this, you know, I keep thinking. We keep going up the level of devils, or maybe I should say we go down levels of devils, waiting for this person to wake up or waiting for this person to realize or whatever. We are taking a lot in here, and we haven't even got to the heroin side of this equation. You took a trip back on the bus, right? Back to Flag?
Yep.
Well, we're going to pick that up tomorrow. We'll pick up from the whole story. I just want to encourage you to listen to this story and try to avoid everything we're talking about. Listen, don't forget to check out the BFF Friday night meeting. Starts at 5:30. Go to 6:15 for food and fellowship. At 6:15, they have a meeting for both guys and gals. Childhood's provided. If you need more information, just hop out to their website at beyondfeartofreedom.org. So until next time, I'm Steve Savant. And remember, no one's outside the reach of God. No, not one.